Hey guys, it's Gina Kazazzi here, and here is week 3 of training with a SEAL. I did not want to go for anything, which is weird because leading up to it, I was so excited. I completed week 2. I recovered really well. Thank you, Tim. I recovered so well, I wasn't sure if it was because of what Tim suggested for recovery or if I didn't work hard enough. I'm leaning towards the recovery was spot on. I got new boots. I was like, I can't do these fashion boots anymore. They're just not working out. Let's look the part 100%. Except for the belt. I keep forgetting a belt. Saturday comes around. I don't know what happened. I had softball and I just wrecked my body. Cut both of my knees, cut my elbow, cut the side of my leg. I was pretty banged up from it. I play hard. I play to win. Whoever says if you had fun, you won, was not losing. Anyone that's losing, I can assure you, is not having fun. It's really true when they say our body and mind will steer us away from pain and more towards pleasure. And Saturday night, for some weird reason, I could not sleep. I could not sleep at all. I was on serious high alert all night, wide awake, completely energized. Ended up reading all night. Next thing you know, I'm looking at the clock and it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, crap. Now my mind is giving me more logical reasons to not show up. You're all cut and bruised up. Don't want to injure yourself further. You don't want to infect the wounds. You didn't get any sleep at all last night. And when I looked at the weather, it's really cold out. It's like, you know you're going to end up in the water. It's going to be really cold. You don't want to go. Just skip it. Just skip it. Normally I'm already packed. I'm ready to go. It's 7:40 and I haven't left my house yet. This is at least a 20-minute commute and I need to be there by 8:15. At this point, it's game time decision. I started texting Coach Matt. Open it up. Something personal came up. I can't make it today. I read it like 4 times. And every single time I kept looking outside at the weather and I kept looking down at my body, at my knees, and my arms, and I kept saying to myself, you didn't sleep, lay down on the couch, relax, go back to reading. That sounds so much better than getting your ass kicked. It's gonna be satisfying in the moment when you look at that clock and it says 8:30 and you know that they're all training. You're gonna be so disappointed in yourself. I couldn't hit the send button. Couldn't do it. I got up, I got dressed, and I booked it. So here's what happened week 3. Week 3 was kind of a game changer for me. My motto for this week was embrace the suck. No matter how much it sucks, embrace it. I embraced the suck. Coach Mac said within a month, you're really gonna see a whole different person. And then as you really continue and keep doing it, you're just gonna completely 100% evolve. I am starting to feel that way right now and it's only week 3. Once I started to embrace the suck, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's still insanely hard. I don't think it's ever going to get easier. I kind of don't want it to ever get easier. I just wanna keep getting stronger and I am noticing how strong I really am. This time there was no pavement running, it was only sand running. The runs are not getting any easier. Running on the sand running anywhere is hard for me. Running on the sand feels like damn near impossible. At this point, I'm just like, all right, they're gonna be way ahead of me and I'm just gonna go at Gina's speed. Hopefully Gina's speed picks it up a little bit and I'm more with the pack versus runt of the litter. When you first start, there's not that many people on the beach, but over time, it's Sunday morning, it gets busy, it gets really packed, and people are always staring because we're in uniform. We stand out. For peace of mind for the people watching us on the beach, I really want to get a shirt that says, don't worry, I'm not protecting and serving you. Another thing I'm learning is to test out your gear before you do this. I didn't think about when we go in the water and my pants get wet that they're gonna be heavier. Aside from pull-ups, flutter kicks are 100% my weakness. I'm realizing I really need to work on my core. A lot of things I gotta work on, but baby steps, and core apparently is one of them to help me with these flutter kicks because they're a real big challenge for me. Coach Matt keeps saying transition is very, very important, and when he goes flutter kicks and you have to transition down to a flutter kicks and you have to just be in flutter kick position, which is your feet being up. I'm pretty sure it's my mind and body stopping me from allowing me to do that because it knows that it's painful for me. So every time we have to go there, my legs kind of they don't want to get up. So right now I have to get past my limited self in my mind. It is really awesome watching these guys and watching how hard they train. We do some short sprints on the sand and then run back. And at one point we had to belly crawl and then run back. I already feel like the tortoise around all these hairs. I feel like no matter how much I am belly crawling and moving my body forward, I barely feel like I'm gaining anything. And then when you look up at where you're supposed to go, it feels like you are never going to get there. I thought the runs felt long until we had to belly crawl somewhere. And as some of you know, one of my fears is the water. And one thing that we had to do was there were two people that had to go chest high, which is pretty much my height, in the water. And we had to go around the gear, go down into the water, go around them, come back up and go around the gear. We do it 5 times. People made it around 5 times before I finished my first one. First of all, these riptides are really strong. Also, the water is really cold, but you're not thinking about that. I'm just thinking about getting to the point and going around them. It was totally fine up until I couldn't touch the bottom anymore. The water is definitely a mental challenge for me because it's a fear. It's a fear that I have to get over. And I love the water. I am always the first one in the water. I am always the longest in the water. But I do coach myself throughout the water experience. I'm always letting myself know that I'm safe. Again, we create our fears, so to uncreate them, we have to allow ourselves to know that we're safe. When we give into the fear, we go into fight or flight. I never want to go into fight or flight. The moment I couldn't touch the bottom, fight or flight happened. And I was like, and panicking, couldn't breathe. One of the guys noticed that I was panicking and grabbed me. It was like my human life vest to bring me to shore, which was extremely appreciated. And that's the importance of teamwork. We had to do another thing. We had to jump up on the bar, hang, and do a pull-up. As someone who's 5 feet tall, grabbing something high is a challenge. So I modified it. I am not above asking for help. I will 100% ask for help, especially if I'm struggling, because my teammates are there for a reason. If I need help, they're there to help me. And if I don't ask for help, my whole entire team suffers. However, there is a point where I know when I 100% need help or when I can do it myself. I got it done, you know? Even though I couldn't do it like everybody else, I did it Gina's way. And Gina's way finished the same way that everyone else finished. Didn't matter how I got there, I got there. That way I felt like I was doing as much as I can on my own. I didn't want to feel like I was cheating anything. I never want to feel like I'm cheating anything. Sometimes on these runs, I'm so far behind and no one's looking at me. No one can see me from where I am. That's how far back I am. I just want to just turn around and go back, you know, cheat. But the integrity in me won't let me do that. If I cheat, why even show up? And I'm never gonna get any stronger. I'm never gonna get past my limited thinking. Doesn't matter that I'm last. What matters is that I did it. For those of you that don't know, when I was 21, I lost all hearing in my left ear and went completely deaf. I was told that I will never hear again from over 5 ENTs. I proved them wrong and regained a majority of my hearing back about a year or 2 ago. Still not at 100%. Sometimes in formation, I'll listen like this. Also, when there's a lot going on, especially in between, sometimes I don't catch things. A lot of times I just look confused. He'll say something and I didn't have a chance to look up to see his lips to understand what he was saying. This week, there did come a point where I didn't hear the number. I just kind of guesstimated the number. Coach Mac totally called me out on it and was like, what are you doing? Well, how many are you gonna do? I have a hearing impairment. Oh, wrong year. He's like, well, you did way more than you should have. And is that like rollover minutes? Cancel it out and not do as much the next round. It seems like each week, more and more people keep showing up. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. One thing that Coach Mac says all the time and is really big on is lead from the front. Leading from the front doesn't mean that you have to be in the front to actually lead. I could lead from the front being the run of the litter. I can inspire everyone around me even if I'm not number one. This week we had some new people show up and I wanted to motivate them. I like to give a thumbs up to cheer them on as I'm running by them. I like to tell them to keep on going, that they got this, to cheer them on. That's leading from the front. You don't have to be in the front to do that. You can encourage everybody around you. And guess what? Those guys in the front too also need words of encouragement because again, we are all struggling. We are all embracing the suck together. It's all hard for all of us. So all positive words of encouragement matter. Week 3 also tested me in another way that I couldn't have predicted. When we first start, we always start at the beginning of the beach, like where there's a path area and there's like some workout stuff. We just have our backpacks lined up on like this little cement wall. And then when we move down to the bottom of the beach, we grab our backpacks and of course run down to the end of the beach. That's where we finish training. I grab my stuff, I head back to my car, and my keys are not there. Not there. And this is Santa Monica Beach, a very busy beach. It's a Sunday, a weekend, a lot of people around. All I kept saying was, Gina, do not panic. Do not go into reaction mode. You cannot think in reaction mode. You gotta go solution mode. And solution number 1, retrace your steps. I kept holding that intention and not allowing myself to panic. These lessons that I learned at training translate to life, and it translated to now. Just focus on the task at hand. Focus on finding your keys. Do not react. Do not go into panic mode. I went to the first place that we all put our backpack. There was about 8 people around that area, about 2 families all grouped together. And I look, and there they are, my keys. There they are, and I go, oh my God. And I grab my keys. I'm like so grateful. And there's this guy there who was like, whoa, you were so lucky. I was like, thank you, I know. These were like sitting here for like 2 hours. No one touched them. Thank you. When we don't go into panic mode and we could stay calm, A, we go right to solution. B, everything ends up working out because we're able to stay calm. Same thing in training. Never go into reaction mode. In reaction mode, you cannot find a solution. You cannot think clearly. You cannot think calmly. Here are the lessons I learned from week 3. Embrace the suck. This isn't gonna be fun. This is always gonna be a challenge. That's why it's training. You're only gonna get stronger and better. Your mind is gonna do everything it can to steer you away from pain and move you to pleasure. It's your job to rewire your brain to remind yourself that through that pain is where the growth happens. You have to go through it. Where there's a will, there's a way. Sometimes you gotta improvise to get the job done. You don't have to be in the front to lead from the front. Form and basics are extremely important. Don't think you know so much that you're too good for the basics. That's when injury happens. When you cheat, when you don't show up, when you quit, it'll feel good for about a second. And then it'll sit with you and eat at you. It's always okay to ask for help. Your teammates are there to support you and help you. Be silent. Be silent through the pain. Integrity is for you, not for anybody else. It's doing the right thing even when no one else is watching. I do this for me and only me. If I'm not gonna have integrity within myself, don't even bother showing up to these things. If I wanna cheat myself, I'm only hurting myself in the end. It's always rewarding at the end when you finish. And that was week 3, training with the SEAL. Check out this amazing organization and donate if you can. Thank you.